Do you like texting?
Yes, I like it. I actually prefer texting to calling because it's easier for me to text to others through online messenger. No, I don't. I'm really lazy and hate texting. I prefer calling and talking directly to others. And I'm very slow when it comes to texting.
Have you ever received a confusing text message?
Sometimes it's quite difficult to read between the lines through text messages. I've received those kinds of messages a few times and still don't really know what they meant.
In what circumstances is making a phone call better than sending a text message?
It's easier to understand how the person on the phone feels, and it seems like people's actual expressions help me to understand them better.
I'm going to talk about history. When I was in year 9, I had to choose one subject for my GCSE exam between geography and history, but at that time, I hated both of them. So, I thought it would be better to learn history rather than geography. As I chose history for my GCSE exam, I had to study it for 2 years. It was utterly painful to study this subject. Sometimes, I really wanted to give up because it was too difficult for me to catch up. I didn't like it because the names of ancient men were too long. At that time, I wasn't good at English, and it was really difficult to memorize all these names for me. Actually, I got motivated to study history because some historical events are interesting. There are lots of videos on YouTube nowadays, so the ones explaining the origin of ancient civilizations and backgrounds of historical events made me want to learn more about them. Also, after watching some BBC historical films, I got more interested. Some of my favorite films are historical ones, which led me to be motivated about the subject itself. I think it's a really fascinating subject to learn now. Do you think teachers have a great influence on student studies?
Yes, I think so. Sometimes students find a certain subject more interesting than others because of the teacher's teaching style and may lead to achieving good grades for that subject. Or it could be the other way around.
Is interest important for students?
I think so. Having interests in a certain subject can lead students to be self-motivated. I believe motivation is the key in studying something. If a student who has interests spends longer time studying, they might achieve something more than ones who don't.
How to develop interest in a school subject?
Making school subjects more practical would be ideal, like providing more case studies. If students find out how to apply a theory into a real-world situation, they will develop their interest in a particular subject.
Do you like to learn from the internet?
The internet is a useful learning method these days. Distance learning is getting more and more popular. But I'm not a big fan of it when it comes to learning. I get easily distracted while learning online, and it's hard for me to stay focused.
Do you think learning many subjects at one time is better or learning one subject is better?
I think learning many subjects at once is better. Students need to learn various subjects to expand their knowledge. Also, employers these days want employees to have knowledge in a variety of fields.